everyone, so it's just me today, your lovely non-binary friend Emerson. I'm here to talk to you guys today about gender dysphoria and how I find ways to kind of work through it, and I'm also going to just do a special section on binders as well, because I feel like that's something a lot of people talk about but they don't know a lot about, so I want to do a little bit of education on that. I just wanted to start because I feel like a lot of people get dysphoria and dysmorphia confused. I've had that a lot where people are talking to me about me being non-binary and like trans, and they're always like, oh, so like what is your dysmorphia like? And I'm like, I don't necessarily have body dysmorphia, I do have gender dysphoria, and they're kind of two different things, although they do tend to go hand in hand depending on who you are and how you feel. Dysphoria is defined as a state of unease or generalized dissatisfaction with life. So the example that this dictionary gives is adolescents with depression, dysphoria, mania, and anxiety disorders. It's kind of the opposite of euphoria, right? Your euphoria is your joyous moments, your dysphoria is your down moments where you feel disconnected. Dysphoria is very much just a disconnect, I find. You know, you're born and assigned a gender, and then you feel this huge disconnect with that, and that's your dysphoria. And I think that a lot of people really get that mixed up, because dysphoria can lead to you feeling shit about your body, and that happens to me all the time. You know, I don't like the parts of me that are defined as feminine, and you know, it's hard because a lot of people constantly are asking even though they don't deserve to know, you know, it's not their place. And it just causes further effects of dysphoria when people are asking you constantly, like, oh, but like if you have this, then why this? You know, it's a constant back and forth. But then the difference is that body dysmorphia it's a disorder where you perceive your body as ugly, fat, wrong, even though you've had medical or personal reassurances constantly, which is part of dysphoria, I would find. But like some people say a lot more often that dysmorphia goes with like eating disorders, whereas dysphoria comes just from that disconnect that you feel as someone. Generally, I'm going from my own experience, I don't speak for every person out there, but from my experience, dysphoria is just that huge disconnect that you feel, and it makes you feel really, really uncomfortable a lot of the time. I do have some tips for you about how to deal with dysphoria. These are my tips. This is for me, being someone who's transitioning. One tip I have is buy as many sweatshirts as you can, because sweatshirts, especially if you get them a size up from what you normally wear, they don't really grow in length so much, not that often. I get a lot of my sweatshirts at like H&M. They're just these plain colors. You know, you can put them with like jeans or whatever you want, whatever pants you like to wear. They look really comfy, they are comfy. But the big thing is that like they're not body conforming. These are men's sweatshirts. Men's sweatshirts are pretty, everyone gets sweatshirts. I hate when you get a female sweatshirt and like this fabric is like cut in, so it really accentuates your body. I despise that, so I always buy like the labeled men's sweatshirts, because they're these big things and they hide pretty much everything. They give you that room so that if you don't have like a binder on, you can still pass a bit more masculine if that's what you're going for. That's my number one tip. Buy a lot of sweatshirts. Number 2, learn different kinds of makeup tips. I know that it may sound weird that like, you know, I'm trying to leave behind female, but I still use makeup, and I think a lot of people forget that makeup is very universally used. You know, I'm in a journalism program, and I had my one professor say to everyone in the class, you all have to be able to use makeup if you want to be on camera, if you want to be like a broadcast reporter, and the boys flipped their shit. And my prof is a male, and was like, no, like, I had to learn to use makeup, like, it's not that hard. And I was just like, oh, I got this. So yeah, I constantly use this one contour pattern that I found on Instagram once, and it was like, use this contour pattern for people who are male to female, and this one for female to male. I use the one for female to male. Not that difficult to like actually apply, it's just where you're applying the makeup differently. It's kind of like I'm trying to accentuate like my jaw and make my cheeks look more hollowed, whereas other people are trying to like fill their cheeks more, right? Give you that slim curve, right? I really accentuate like this part of my lip here, and then the bottom part of my lip, my chin. I always bring my contour down as well to make it like darker, give me that contrast. I stay away from any eye makeup generally, unless I really have to. I have like a bronze that kind of like helps me contour my eyes a bit. I don't tend to contour my eyes. I find it really difficult, and that may just be me. I don't know. So all you're doing is that you're making like really sharper lines up here in like this part of your cheek, as opposed to like down here for like a feminine contour look, right? Where you're trying to like really accentuate this part. You're trying to squeeze this in. You're accentuating your jaw with like a little highlight. This part, this part. You're doing still the sides of your nose and the highlight down the middle that you see a lot of, like I see a lot of drag queens doing that. It just shapens your nose better. You know, around the eye, highlight on the inside of the eye, stuff like that. If you know how to use makeup, I would recommend it. If you want to try and just, it makes me feel a bit more confident when I do it. So if you want to feel a bit more confident, I would maybe recommend it. Tip number 3. So hats are a big thing that I do. I've been wearing a lot of hats because it helps me hide my hair. Another friend that I have who is also non-binary, uses they them pronouns, also tends to wear a lot of hats. They haven't cut their hair yet, it's still very long, so they hide it kind of up in like a beanie, get that little hair flick out, you know. My hair is a very weird cut right now. It's that very classic, like a long here, but the whole thing is shaved. It's like that classic kind of, a lot of people have said it was like very like bisexual looking. I don't even know what that means. But I feel better when all of my hair is kind of under a hat, because you just can focus on my face, and then if I did my makeup that day, I look a bit more masculine, so people tend to not question as much. Day where I don't wear a hat. There's days I go where I don't wear makeup, but I always have a hat on, and I pretty much always have a chest binder on as well. Those are like the 2 things I need to get through my day, despite still feeling dysphoric. But it helps me not feel as dysphoric as when I like wake up that day and I just feel like this sudden weight kind of fall on me every morning, and then I'm able to like lighten that weight as I do certain things. So yeah, hats are another big one. I like having like longer hats that have this like curve in the back. I also have a lot of just like, I know you've seen like where I have like just the like beanie hats. I'm testing it a couple different styles, seeing what suits me best. So far I really like this one. I like the beanies that I have too that have like the little lip at the top. And I just kind of switch through those for now. Tip number 4. This is also going to be like my little mini section. So I'm going to be talking about chest binders. So this is one of my chest binders. This is my skin tone one. I have 3. I have this one. I have a black one that goes under most of my clothes because it's dark and my clothes are dark. And then I have a gray one for a lot of neutral colors. This cream colored one is mostly for when I wear whites because it matches my skin tone, and then it's like, I don't know if a lot of females probably have like, you know, when you have to wear like a bra and you have to match it to like what's going on top of it, because if you wear, you know, like a black bra under a white shirt, it's really obvious. I can't wear a black binder under a white shirt. So I have 3 different colors. They're all the same size though, and these are just like the top tanks ones, so it just covers like my little top half. Some people get binders where it's like the full upper body. These all come from a company in America called GC2B. Not sponsored. I really enjoy them. Super like good education from them on how to properly bind. There's a whole sizing chart to help you find your right size, so you do have to take some measurements to get the right size. They always recommend, if you're going to be doing any type of sport or swimming, that you wear a size up. So I do keep an extra size up for when I go in the pool, if I get the opportunity to wear a binder in the pool. It doesn't happen that often. My last one did get pretty destroyed when I was teaching a lot and I was trying to wear my binder as much as I could. It got destroyed by the chlorine pretty quick. So if you're in a pool that doesn't have chlorine, I would 10 out of 10 recommend wearing a binder just a size up from what you normally wear. And I love their website. They have like all these different styles now they've been adding in. They do a lot of different promotions, and like their Instagram's super fun to follow. Again, not sponsored. I wish. GC2B, if you're out there, I would love the sponsorship. Just after a while, sometimes the material may start to give out. I'll show you guys what it looks like on the inside, just so you can see. So this part here, this white part, is what actually goes on my front. It's a very solid, stiff fabric. And then this at the back is very elasticy, very stretchy. So this is what I can like stretch over my body, and then this comes right on my front, and that's what actually causes like the binding, flattening effect of a chest binder. It doesn't make your chest like totally like all of a sudden I go from like chest to flat, but it like evens and distributes everything properly, so you pass like very full, not like full chested. It's very, there's sometimes still a little bit of like a but that really only happens if you're wearing very form-fitting clothes. So if you're trying to bind and wear form-fitting clothes, you're still gonna have some signs of a chest. It's just not gonna be as big. Yeah, no, binders are a great thing, and I really recommend these and the company GC2B because like it's specifically for trans and non-binary people. Super supportive community, and if you try and get something off of like Amazon, you don't know if it's properly going to fit, whereas they have the size chart so you can size yourself properly. If you're just starting, I would recommend trying a size up to get used to the feeling of how it feels to have that tightening in your chest. I wore a size up for about 2 months before I actually got to my proper size, because I needed to get used to the feeling of just having my chest constricted. Don't wear your binders for more than 8 hours at a time. If you do, you may start to experience a lot of pain in your chest. If you put it on and you feel chest pain, immediately like either take it off or try and adjust to the point where you don't feel that pain. Because if you're feeling pain while you're binding, then you're wearing it wrong and you're going to do a lot of damage to your body. That's not really reversible. So you need to be really, really careful with how you bind and how long you bind when you're starting. Definitely don't go over like 5 hours. I know if you're trying to like go to school and you have an 8-hour school day, you want to wear it the whole day, but like try and find time then, like during a break, where you can like go to a bathroom and like just like pull it away from your chest a bit to let your chest breathe before you suddenly constrict it again, because if you just start constricting it, you're going to damage it a lot. Yeah, binders are really, really useful, but they can be really, really tricky to handle. Yeah, so yeah, that's all I have for you today, guys. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. I'll try and answer as best as I can. Please be safe out there. You know, take care of yourselves, take care of your bodies. Love you all so much. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe below. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought, anything else you want to add to it. I'll probably do another part to this series. I'll start making a whole series on just non-binary stuff and how I live and adapt and stuff, because I want to keep doing that. I want to be able to educate. So if you guys like these videos, let me know, and I'll see you guys another time. Bye!